So, many of you have asked me a number of times over the last month or so about my thoughts and my opinions on the whole, KDH Rob Chapman video, YouTube drama saga thing. And, I've been reluctant to comment on it just because I don't know. I guess I just didn't really have a whole lot to say regarding the issue. At least nothing, at least nothing that hadn't already been covered. I think there was plenty of fault to be had on both sides. I thought the KDH video was insanely antagonistic and, quite frankly, unnecessary. And there were some parts of Rob Chapman's response that quite frankly I agree with. I'm never going to fault anybody for working hard and getting good at their craft and being successful from it. And that seemed to be one of the things that the KDH gentleman seemed to take issue with regarding Rob Chapman. And among other things, and like I said, I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around on both sides. Was KDH's video very antagonistic and, kind of intentionally poking the bear, so to speak, just trying to get a rise and get a reaction? I think so. Should Rob have been more responsible with mobilizing his fan base? Yeah, I think so. Well, today, just a few hours ago, Rob Chapman released a video apologizing for his actions regarding the whole thing. Apologizing and owning up to and taking responsibility for his actions. There was, and I'm not going to go into depth in this. You guys can search for it and find the stuff on YouTube very easily. But particularly regarding some of the comments that he had left, and regarding a few other things. Good on Rob Chapman, and. I even left a comment on that video. Way to go, Rob. I thought it was actually a very, very good message. It was a responsible thing to do, and I know it wasn't easy. It couldn't have been easy. He made some mistakes, and he recognized them, and he owned up to them, and he apologized for them publicly. Now I think he's probably unfortunately going to deal with some backlash about whether or not people are going to think that he's sincere or not. And quite frankly, I personally believe in second chances, and I believe in giving people the benefit of the doubt. And I have no reason, to doubt that he was sincere in his video. I watched the whole thing start to finish, and you could see the emotion in his eyes when he was giving that apology. I mean, he was fighting back tears. It's obviously been very, very difficult for him to deal with. I guess that's probably why I wanted to do this video, because, quite frankly, I feel for the guy. We're all human. We all make mistakes. And one thing that I have learned with my own YouTube endeavors, if you will, is that dealing with other people's reaction to you is not always easy. For those of you that have followed my channel for a while, you all, I'm sure, are probably aware that I have overreacted to various things that have been said to me in the comment sections of my videos. And quite frankly, I will probably do it again. Like I said, I'm human and I make mistakes, and so is anybody else that creates videos on YouTube. In the instance of Rob's career, he obviously has gone, he's got a much larger following than I do. I think I saw that he's at 700, upwards of 750,000 subscribers or something. And of course he's in, he plays in a couple of very active bands that are both very successful and, touring pretty regularly is my understanding, and playing shows pretty regularly. And, he does... I know he's also involved in various guitar clinics, and he teaches sometimes on occasion, and oh yeah, by the way, there's also that pretty popular guitar company that he owns that happens to have his name on the headstock. And I know that that's also a part that he's not the only owner involved in that. I know Lee Anderton is involved, and I think there's actually also one other investor. But regardless, Rob Chapman's name is the one that's on the headstock, and that's he's the guy that everybody associates with that brand. He's worked hard to grow that brand and turn it into a global thing. You're starting to see those guitars all over the world now. There's a lot more retailers carrying them now than there used to be. As a side note, I kind of have felt a little left out because as a guitar player on YouTube, I think I'm the only guitar player on YouTube that didn't own a Chapman guitar. So I actually ordered my first Chapman just last night. Unfortunately, it's on back order for a while, and it's not going to be here for a couple months. But I'm excited for it. Regardless, I sympathize with Rob Chapman's position and for the whole thing. Again, do I think that he handled the situation initially? Do I think he handled it real well? No. Do I think I could have done any better? I would like to think so, but again, we're all human, and until you're in that situation, who knows? So I'm certainly not putting myself up on a pedestal above anybody else. Like I said, I've been reluctant to comment on this entire thing altogether. But I did want to turn on the camera here for just a couple of minutes here this evening and offer my initial reaction to Rob's video and his apology, because I think it was very sincere. I think it was very heartfelt. Again, you could see the emotion in his eyes. Again, not an easy thing to do. Owning up to a mistake and issuing an apology to, especially to as many people as he apparently felt that he needed to issue it to. Again, not an easy thing at all. And I really hope that this is the end of it. And, we can all calm down and, the whole thing, we can finally put the whole thing behind us. Maybe with any luck, those two might even be able to find themselves, in the same room together, that, they can talk it out face-to-face, one-on-one. And I'm sure they could probably both find some common ground if they ever had the opportunity to do so. I just wanted to share my opinion on this whole thing and, offer my support, honestly, to both parties. In the instance of KDH, and I don't know what his initial motivation behind that video was to begin with. I'm not going to sit here and pick it apart. However, as a small YouTube channel myself, particularly when you're just getting started and you're just trying to, get noticed and, trying to figure out what works for you and what works for your audience, all that stuff, you tend to take some risks with some of your video content just to see, what might stick. It can be pretty tempting to to want to take a few pot shots at some other creators, and that's, and again, I don't know if this was his motivation behind that video or not, but if it was, it's a temptation that can be tough to resist. I am guilty of roasting gear. I've been doing that on my channel for a long, long time, but I've said a number of times I draw the line at taking shots at other YouTube creators, other guitar players, and other people in general. And before anybody brings up, my reaction to the Stevie T thing and, the Richard Benson thing a year or so ago, that was me going to bat for a man that has led a tough life with a myriad of disabilities, and I still am not going to apologize for that. And in that video, I did not say one disrespectful thing to Mr. Steve Terraberry. I merely disagreed with him and thought that he should have thought that whole thing through before he turned on the camera. And I may end up thinking the same thing about this video here down the road. If that was KDH's motive for putting up that video, hopefully he's hopefully he can learn from it and move forward. So now that Rob has issued his apology and cleared the air and hit the reset button, now we can all put this whole thing behind us and just get back to what's really important, like arguing about whether or not tone woods are actually a thing. Links down in the description below. Please consider hitting the subscribe button to this channel if you have not already. It really, really does help out a lot. And I am I'm working really hard to try to grow the channel this year. I really want to be able to get it up to that next level. However, I cannot do that without your help. Last but not least, don't forget to comment down below and let me know your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. Sayonara.